country has been deliberately made poor. Why? It is because they want to make it cheap for the buyer. State corporations that employ very many Kenyans have been run down to intentionally make losses so that these individuals can justify privatization of these institutions. The hyenas of Kenya have decided they want to eat their own children, and they have accused them of smelling like goats. Unfortunately, the hyenas want to eat everything, including national assets that are sensitive to national security. A case in point is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The Kenyan law does not permit any Kenyan to buy any public asset unless through a very tedious process under the Asset and Disposal Act and many other laws. But here comes a foreigner who has been permitted to own 20% of our airport after a 30-year lease. What a shock. Something that any Kenyan cannot be allowed to do, regardless of how much money they have. And yet these are foreigners, and they are allowed to own this. The purported foreigners are not even foreigners. They are proxies for Kenyans who hide behind foreign names and foreign faces. Our money that has been stolen since 2013 when Uhuru Kenyatta was president has started coming back through proxies in the face of investors. They call it public-private partnership or privatization or foreign investment. Very sweet words for state capture and money laundering. In February of 2024, the Cabinet of Kenya, led by President William Ruto, approved the following state corporations for sale. The first one was the National Bank of Kenya, where the government of Kenya owns 22% and NSSF owns 48%. Consolidated Bank of Kenya, where the Deposit Protection Fund owns 50% on behalf of the government of Kenya. Development Bank of Kenya, where ICDC owns 89% on behalf of the government of Kenya. Agrochemical and Food Corporation ADC, where ADC owns 28% and ICDC owns 28%, all on behalf of the government of Kenya. These are state corporations that were supposed to be sold or privatized. Kenya Wine Agencies, 72% is owned by ICDC. East African Portland Cement, where houses were demolished recently, NSSF owns 27% and government of Kenya owns 25%. All this is the government of Kenya ownership. Kenya Meat Commission was to be privatized, where the government owns 100%. New KCC, ya maziwa, government of Kenya owns 100%. The Numerical Machining Complex, under the Kenya Railways Corporation, 51% owned by University of Nairobi and 49% owned by Kenya Railways Corporation. Miwani Sugar Company, which is under receivership, the government of Kenya owns 49%. Muhoroni Sugar Company, where ADC owns 16%. Cabernet Hotel, where Kenya Trading Corporation owns 98.2%. Mount Elgon Lodge Limited, Kenya Trading Corporation owns 72%. Kitale Municipal Council owns 13%, and Trans Nzoia County Council owns 13%.